Hello to everybody who's on the church Facebook page. It's really lovely to have you here. Welcome. I hope you've had a really, really nice day and enjoyed the sunshine that has just come out of nowhere this afternoon. Hasn't it been a real blessing to us? Really pleased to have you here. Really pleased whether you come week in, week out, that this is your church, your congregation, or whether you've just found us. Actually, welcome. You found us now. It's really lovely to have you here with us. Also, thank you to everybody that can't make us live at 6:15, but diligently catches up on a replay. We really do appreciate you being here. Thank you. It's my very great honour to introduce Jane-Ann Underdown as our speaker this evening. Hello, Jane-Ann. How are you doing?
Hello, Ashley. Yes, I'm doing very well. Very pleased to be here. Really looking forward to the evening. First it's online, live. So let's hope everybody enjoys it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I certainly will.
Nothing like a bit of pressure. First one is live. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're really pleased. Really pleased you're here.
Yeah.
So thank you to everybody that's joining us. It's lovely to see so many of your faces in the chat here. Lovely Jan, Karen, Lynn. Hello, Lynn. Lorraine, Cheryl, to Janine, Bernie, Elisa. Oh gosh, there's so many names on here. Fantastic. So lovely to have so many of you along. Really, really does make all of this worthwhile, doesn't it? Okay, what we are going to do now is do what we normally do, which is to light our candles. And the reason why we do this, it's really important, is because we can't physically be together in the same space to have that time when we walk into our church and we sit there and we feel the energy change and just feel that we're in the presence of some really sacred time with Spirit. So we light our candles. So no matter what you're doing or where you are in your house, you can light a candle and recreate that energy, that intention that goes to the spirit world. So just grab my candle. And as you light your candle with real intention to create that time, that sacred space between you and your loved ones in the spirit world, even if it's only once a week, you've got your time with Spirit. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And now I'd like to hand over to Jane-Ann for the opening prayer to start our service and open our service for us.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley. If you'd like to join me and just close your eyes and just do an opening prayer and welcome in spirit our service here this evening. Lord God and Divine Spirit, we ask you please to be with each and every one of us this evening. We have gone live on the internet, which is a very different experience for us, but this will hopefully enable us to reach much more people than we would perhaps just coming to a church at this present time, because we are in a very challenging, difficult times at this moment. And we ask that you bestow your divine love and light and healing and protection on each and every one of us here and every one of us who have joined us. And for all the families in the homes, the pets that they represent here this evening. We ask that we just have a really, really lovely service, bringing in spirit close to us, bringing us that knowledge and wisdom and understanding to bring peace, love, and happiness to each and every one of us. And this is to include Mother Earth and planet Earth and all of the animals in all different walks of life, because they are also experiencing such difficult, challenging times too. We leave this service in your safekeeping, as we always do. We bless you and thank you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. That was lovely. Thank you very much. And now, friends, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer together. And so we say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And leave us not when in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Okay, while we're in this lovely moment in time, we are going to say a healing prayer. And it's really important, absent healing, which is your opportunity to send thoughts and prayers out to those people you know and people you may not know who may need some upliftment and healing at this time. And as Jane-Ann's already beautifully said, also include Mother Earth and the animal and plant kingdom in that, because they need our help as well at this time. So if you want to make yourself comfortable, sit into that space, drop into that energy where you connect with your loved ones in spirit and when you send your healing energy. And I'll say a few words of healing, and then we'll go for a healing meditation, and I'll bring you back with the words Amen. So, Great Spirit, we ask for healing for the world, for the planet, and also for ourselves, for us to be able to continue to do the work that is needed, for us to step into our power and our purpose. We need your support. We know that you walk beside us always. But at this time, we would ask for the concentrated energy of the spirit world to take that healing power where it is most needed, for it to be directed towards people who are in need at this time. We would also like to place a special blessing upon the hands of all of those people who are working so tirelessly to help and heal and uplift and be with people who are in need. We would also like to ask that the powers in the spirit world can influence and guide and uplift all of those people who have the power and responsibility to make decisions on behalf of us as a nation and as a planet, that you guide their hearts and you guide their hands and you guide their minds. Amen. And now some music for you to send your thoughts. Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining us in that healing moment. Amen. Oh, lovely. And now I'd like to hand over the service to Jane-Ann for your reading, followed by your philosophical address, Jane-Ann.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Thank you, Ashley. Hello, everyone, again. This is going to be slightly different tonight because normally I generally read from a book that I'm inspired by or a passage or something, but actually this inspiration has come from my husband, John. And actually, you know John from coming to the church, but he was the one that said to me that he has had this inspiration to write this sort of piece of it's very interesting, and I hope you enjoy it because it is actually about hope. And this is his interpretation of how he sees hope in this time now, because we've gone through an awful difficult, challenging time through the lockdown, through the changes, through the distress and the anxieties that life has shown very many people. So I hope you enjoy it. So here we are. It's called Hope. We all live in the world of hope. We often say we hope the weather was better tomorrow for an event or something that we have specially planned. I hope that the grandchildren are okay, or perhaps they have been camping in their back gardens. Hope is a word that we use in everyday life, but not always realizing that we have said it or thought it. It is a word that can be used in so many ways, or thoughts in our minds. Like saying things if a tire on the car broke down and getting up in the morning and finding it flat. And it's about hoping that we find someone to be able to store us. Maybe have that £1 coin for the shopping trolley when we do go to the shops. These are just a couple of things that we use hope for daily or minute by minute occasion. Then, of course, there is hope for life. The hope that these diseases and viruses will soon go away. The hope that we as people of the world will learn and take more care of nature and of life in general. The hope leaders will learn from the present anxieties and the awful virus that has swept the planet, and that they will strive to make a safer and better place. For this, we can only have hope. Let's not forget hope for the animals and all of the creatures of the world. Let's hope that all the wrongdoing and abuse is put to an end, and that we respect the life of all beings and respect what we have around us. Love for our pets and from our pets and what they give us is so unconditional. Animals in the wild give their offspring the same kind of love. So let's hope that we can learn not to destroy that for them, because they are just as important as we are for the balance of our planet. Let's also hope that we learn to enjoy and respect one another, understanding each other for what we are as individuals, with the hope we realize we are all different. Many of us strive for the same things. Let's hope that instead of making life hard for one another, that we help and make life easier. To sum up hope, the hope can be one of many things, from everyday minute by minute experience to a long-term solution for the most humane of things, like peace on earth, to all people, animals and creatures, and for Mother Earth, to the preservation of our lands, our trees, and the oceans, and so much more. So finally, I hope this has been something for all of us to ponder over. Well, I hope that it does. So that's what John said today, which really nicely leads me into my address, because my thoughts and processes with my guides and my helpers is that hope, as my dear mum would say, hope is the only thing left in Pandora's box. Now, Pandora's box had many, many, many rich things in it, but the only thing that was left there was hope. And for me, hope is something that that we all integrate into our lives. Perhaps we don't always know that we're doing it, but certainly for me, during this pandemic and the lockdown, things have changed for me in a dramatic way, both physically but also spiritually. there has been a lot of challenges, and there's been a lot of very difficult, complex things that I've had to explore. And I have also had heard spirit. Right now, this for me is very, very, very difficult, because it's something that I was born with. I seen spirit from a very early age, and it's also been incorporated and integrated into my life throughout my life. But through that has brought very challenging times, because mediums experience their journeys different. There's a lot of similarities, and the gifts that we have and we are honored to have from spirit are also different. And that we learn very significant life lessons, and we learn that we need to be able to have hope for ourselves, in the fact that if we don't look forward in these times of troubles and anxieties, then in the future there will be such a different line that we may take, unless we learn from what we may have found out during the lockdown. Because for me, it's been quite a different experience. I've actually enjoyed the peace and the quiet. I've enjoyed spending time with John when he was off on furlough, which many people will know and experienced in their own lives. And it's also about the fact that we have to look at what's important in our life. If we don't look at actually what we have in front of us, then how can we manage or be able to expand that out to the wider population, or to the wider sending healing out to the planet, to Mother Earth, and to all different facets of our spiritual development. And spirituality for me is vital. My everyday existence, it's part of, and has been part of me, as I said, since I was born. And I'm sure that a lot of people will be able to relate to that, because having your spirit inside you and having that feeling that you are connected to a source of love and light is for me, it's like a miracle. It's like miraculous every day, because I get these different sense of who I am from different experiences that I have. And sometimes they do give you quite harsh lessons too. I've had a few of them over my lifetime, and I think it just brings you down to brass tacks. It really makes you think about what they're trying to actually impart to you, or to tell you, or to show you. And sometimes we get caught up in life, like sometimes we have like jobs, full-time jobs, we have families, we have pets, we have this, we have that, and all of a sudden you get caught up in what life brings you. And we have to be very careful of that, because spirit's purpose is different from our human life's purpose. We have to try and combine them together as almost a sort of an integrated life, if you want to put it that way. And making time sometimes for spirit can be difficult, because we have all the organization and everything behind that, rather than just having time to relax and just give them the time to do that. However, my mum, I've got to go back to my mum, because I lost my mum 2 years ago, and it was the most devastating time in my whole entire life. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like it before. And she was my rock. She was the person whom I looked up to, and always thought, that's the human side of me, that my mum would be here forever. But sadly she wasn't. But she can now do more for me now that I've realized that during this lockdown. It's not so much that I didn't know it before, but during this lockdown, it's made me realize how much she can do for me now, because it's kind of like an integrated, it's slightly different for me now, because grief has no chance, it has no time, it has no concept, and people grieve for as long as they feel they need to. And that is really important for people, because no person should say to you, it's time to get over that, because that is just not how it is. It's just not how how we are, because grief can come in flows, it comes in ebbs, and it can be so different for each individual. And that's including the pets, because people do miss their pets as well. Pets are really important to us as well. On you know, they really are. And I always remember my mum saying to me, I now go back to Pandora's box, but I think it's really important, because Pandora's box was full of all things that weren't necessary to a lot of people, or not necessary to that time in that era of the myth around Pandora's box. But she says, never, no matter how low you get, no matter how low your life is, or the way you feel, or you think that you feel, always remember, there is hope. Hope brings to us that feeling of, actually, I can see the light at the end of this tunnel. There is the smallest peep of light. It could be a pinprick of light, but actually something is going to change the way I am, or the way I'm feeling, or the situation that I am in. And sometimes it could be as small as someone even just smiling at you and saying good morning. Or it could just be, actually, you're so low in yourself that you think other people notice. But actually, that one person will notice, and they will then approach you or say something or do something right out of the blue, perhaps. And you would be thinking, oh, and I've been there thinking, that's exactly what I needed right now. That's what I need in my life. I needed you to tell me, actually, things are going to be okay. You know, and we need to hope wider than that, because our planet is real sort of very challenging, upsetting, and very difficult times. Mother Earth, bless her, she's struggling with the events that's happening across the world, and around the fact that people have not learnt from the pandemic. They haven't learnt the value of life, but also the value of the people around them, and also the value of animals, and of the ecosystem that's so important to keep the balance of our planet whole, refreshed, and healed. And that was evident when all humans, or generally most of us, were in lockdown, and you've seen all of the streams, the seas, the oceans, different places like Venice and places. Everything was clear. There was no pollution in the air. Everything, we were breathing better. Everybody appeared, and I'm not saying anyone, but everyone appeared to have a different outlook. And looking around, you've seen it. You can smell the air was much better. You can just sense that things were so much clearer. And now that we're going to come out of lockdown, have to hopefully learn that to respect Mother Earth, we need to make changes to keep our planet, if we can, in some sense of balance, to keep the yin and the yang as much as we can. It's important that we do try and do our very best to do that for her, because our planet is our salvation. Our planet is what keeps us here. Our planet is what holds our breath that we take. Every breath that we take is from the planet, giving and taking. It's not about us taking as a human race. It's about us giving back now. It's about us trying to help as much as we can, no matter how little it is. Every little bit helps, and to try and bring that balance back in for her. You know, and it's really important that we try to do that. You know, because yeah, and I think from Spirit tonight, Lee Chang's my he is my wonderful. He's my guide, and he's also a very strong teacher. And when I do circle, he is always there, and he's very strong, and he's very direct, and he's, you know, and he's saying the human race, human beings need to take action. And he says that we can do this by freeing our spirits, by opening our hearts, by opening ourselves to the love and the light of Spirit. Now, spirit can come in many forms. It depends on what your truth and what you're believing. But your belief system, as long as it's a place of love and light, however you interpret that, is really important. That is where you draw your strength from, you draw your courage from, and you draw your peace in your sense of self from. Because when we send out healing, it just emanates like a little ripple. You put a stone in, you see that ripple, and it goes for miles. And as we tune in, that collective healing energy comes together as one, it's absolutely amazing. And it makes us feel, as I can only speak for myself, but I'm sure other healers and other people who in the form of prayers, sending out prayers is just as powerful as sending out healing. Because if you're praying for someone, you're praying for, for someone who perhaps is poorly or is in a situation, and that's just as powerful as sending out healing. Because joining together as one is one of the most powerful things that you can feel, you can sense. And if you have like the privilege of being able to see that energy go out, it's an absolute wonderful sight. And it makes people feel better. And it also makes people feel that they're doing something and giving something back. And that's really really important. And excuse me just one second. I'm not one for drinking water, as people know me from the church, so excuse me just one second. Oh yes, I'm a dreadful one for drinking lots of water when I'm doing anything. Yes, so in regards to hope, you also, because they all go in a triangle, one can't come without the other, and the other one can't come without it. They are a triangle of things that we need, because faith is an individual thing, and it's a powerful tool to enable us to go forward in our life. Because if we don't have that faith, it makes us, for me, if I didn't have faith and I didn't have trust and I didn't have hope or that connection to spirit, I would feel like some part of me has almost died. Because for me, that is part and integrated into my life. It is part of me. And no matter how bad things get, I always have the faith that they will then bring something into my sphere of reference to say to me, it's okay, we're going to go this way, right? Or we're going to or just stop, take a pause and think, relax, and just wait. And as humans, we can't always wait, because we think it's not always, sometimes it can be very difficult to wait, because waiting can sometimes be more painful than actually trying to move on. But sometimes within that pain, we find our faith, and we're able to take a different direction by just having that little pause and put our life on hold just for that few minutes or that few seconds, and just breathe. And breath and breathing is probably one of the best things that anyone can do when they're in maybe an anxious state, or and they just need that breath, because it just calms the mind, it calms the body, and allows the spirit then to take over and give you that bit of information, or that bit of hope, or that bit of peace that you need just in that moment. Because as we know, we've all got lots of us have very, very busy lives, and taking breaths sometimes can be quite difficult, depending on what we're doing in our lives and what we're doing in our jobs. But it's really important for us to center ourselves and do just that, and really do that with conviction. And this thing about, because people do struggle with the sense of self-love, because was it the pastor or the reverend Kevin, who was talking about the self-love? And that's really important, because a lot of us do not value ourselves in a very big way. We will do for others, most definitely. We shall go out and we shall help people in our work, in our families, in our homes, or just for people, if like just talking to people, and or anything that you do, and we're very good at that. Most people are very good at that. And we think, yes, we've done that. But when it comes to ourselves, we find it really hard to do that. And I think it's so important, because if we can't love ourselves, how can we possibly truly love others in the way that we feel that we're doing? Because for me, I don't know about anyone else, but I can only tell you for me, I mean, in self-love for me, it's been a struggle through my life, because I think I've always been the kind of person that's done for others than for myself. Even through my childhood, I remember in childhood, I did the same. I'd go and pick something for someone else instead of myself as a young child, and things like that. And as I grew up, it was always about, making sure that everyone else is okay. Even when I went out, I was always making sure that people I was with got home safely. And I used to end up walking home, without. But then I was always of the, because my faith and having my gatekeeper and that protection there, I always knew that I would get home safely. So in my eyes, people home that may not have that same faith, or may not have that without, or have it but don't realize it, at least I knew that they would get home safely. And that used to make me feel good. So when I was walking home quite happily, I would be talking to Spirit, talking to my guides and saying that, we're on our way home now, just get me home safely, guide me to the places where I need to be. And to me, that was fine. But to thinking about myself just wasn't in the equation, And it was only when I had my children that I thought, wow, I've got these little beings here, these wonderful children of mine, and how much love you can actually feel for someone else is incredible. When you see these little fingers and toes and these little babies and things, and you think, wow, how blessed am I? And I know that for other people, they may not be as blessed with feeling that treasure, that wonderful, wonderful feeling that you get. But it just shows you the vast amount of love that you can have, not just for children, but for people, for friends, for family, for wives, parents, everything. And it just makes me feel quite humble, and actually to think that your life can be so traumatic and very difficult, and yet you have someone that walks into your life, even if it's laterally, that brings you everything you need, that you think, wow, this can't be real. It can't be real, because why would I or anyone else deserve to feel like that about another human being? And why would they feel like that? But that is what happens when divine timing is right for people, and when they come into your life, they bring hope, they bring love, they bring unconditional love, and they bring happiness, they bring fun and laughter. I don't think I've laughed so much since I met John, I've got to admit. He is the funniest person I think I've ever come across. And he's probably in there laughing, thinking that, because he is. He makes me laugh so much. No matter how bad things are, you can always get me to laugh. And I think that lifts your spirits just as anything else, because we laugh all the time. I haven't danced as much on lockdown because I've had a foot operation, but still, we used to dance to music and that on a Sunday and everything like that. And it's just those little tiny little things that make you feel, hey, this is really worth it.
There we go.
So for everybody out there, always remember, please, if you take nothing away from tonight, that you take hope, you take love, and you take peace, because the spirit world are sending it to each and every single one of you, and everyone that is part of your family and part of your friends and part of your environments, as well as your animals and everything. So please always look for that little bit of hope, because it's always there. Just look deep within the dark times and you will find it. You will definitely find it, and it will change your thought patterns, it will change your way, or it will change something for the better for you. This is what I hope I can give you tonight. So I really thank you. Obviously I can't see anybody, but I do for line tonight, because it's been really important for me, because the energy has been amazing, you know, and the love that's been sent out has been amazing. So I really want to thank each and every single one of you. And thank you, Ashley, for sharing. I will stop talking now and give you a chance to talk. Sorry about that.
Oh,
Thank
Jane-Ann, thank you. Thank
everyone.
you so much. Do you know what? Everyone has loved hearing you. For people that haven't heard Jane-Ann work before, this is her very first online service. And thank you so much for agreeing to take our service this evening, because it's just such beautiful words. So everyone is loving it. So Christina, who's checking in from Sweden, she absolutely loved your words. Fiona Parry Dodd just felt so blessed by hearing your words. And there's been so many comments backwards and forwards in the chat box, and people reaching out to other people, taking the energy of your address, and then people who are in pain or have lost loved ones, and they're reaching out in the chat box to help each other. Isn't that just the most remarkable thing? Just feeling so inspired by your words. Thank you. Oh, lovely. And special mention must go to John Underdown. And when you are ready to start working, John, come and serve our church for some of your inspirational writing.
Absolutely.
You are going to be a proper double act, you two. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yes. He's actually said that, Ashley. So watch this space.
Amazing. No more sitting at the back for you, John. You will be front and centre up on the top table with us. Amazing. Thank you. Oh, lovely. And thank you for everybody that's put some really lovely comments in the chat and kind of supported.
He's got no way out now, Ashley.
That's it. You've heard it here. We're going to hold into that. We're going to hold into that. Sorry, excuse me. I've got a really, really terrible cough. So on that note, kind of keeping the energy going, I'm really interested. You were talking about grief, because do you know what? It's something that's really important, that there's this really big assumption that people who are spiritual or mediumistic or talk to the spirit world, that actually we aren't touched by it on a personal level. And it was really lovely how you gave permission to say, take as long as you need. So thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, because we can't. Grief has no boundaries. It has no time. It has no space. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, thank you, everybody.
I think we've got a delay in the time shift. I think it's a bit of a delay. Yeah,
there is a little bit of a delay. That's okay, but you're doing an amazing job. You've been hit with all the technical stuff on your very first live. So if you can do this, then you'll be able to do anything next. Live TV next.
I can do anything.
You will. So a couple of, before we ask Jane-Ann to bless us with one of her lovely prayers, just a couple of notices for you. Our medium next week, I can announce, is going to be Reverend Nick Brown, and he is the lead minister for the Greater Little Portland District New Spiritualist Society Church. So we're really looking forward to seeing Reverend Nick Brown. He's got amazing energy, lights up the screen, and a really, really lovely gentleman. So do tune in next Sunday for that. That's going to be our Father's Day service, and also it's summer solstice. And there's loads going on, so it's going to all be coming at you next Sunday. It's a reminder for people on my page on Friday evening. Mark Stone will be doing part 2 of his trance workshop broadcast. So please do tune in for that. Part 1 is on my page as a replay for you to catch yourself up. Part 2 is going a little bit deeper within that altered state work. Really lovely teacher. Mark is a real gift to us, and he's very graciously giving his time to help with this workshop. That's part 2 available on Friday. And that's us. Thank you ever so much. Thank you so much, Jane-Ann. Thank you, John, as well, for your lovely inspired work. I'm going to hand over to Jane-Ann now to lead us out of this wonderful service. Thank you so much, Jane-Ann. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. I'd just like to close your eyes and I'll close in prayer. Lord God and Divine Spirit, thank you so much for your wonderful words this evening and also for your beautiful light and love and healing and protection. I ask, please, that you bestow this blessing on each and every person on this live chat and all the families and the homes and the pets that they represent. Please help them seek that hope and that small peep of light in any dark place or any way that they are feeling right now. And please, please keep Mother Earth safe and well, and help us as people across the whole of the world to bring that joy and peace into lives and into the lives of others. So we ask, please, that you keep us safe, well, and give us continual hope for the future. Amen.
Oh, amen. Thank you so much. Really beautiful energy. I can just feel the healing, and I'm so pleased that you can feel it from inside your house as well, that in our virtual congregation, you know, miracles really can happen, can't they?
Absolutely.
Lovely energy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Super. We are going to
definitely. Yeah,
we are going to say good night to you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for everybody that's watched. Thank you for everyone that's watching our catch up. And you know what? I really cannot say enough how much myself and the committee and all the mediums that have worked and all the mediums that will work at our church, how much it means to us that you're coming and joining with us online and just kind of spreading that light and that hope, as was lovely said, keeping that hope burning. Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your weekend and have a peaceful and gentle week. And we will see you next Sunday with Reverend Nick Brown at 6:15 on this channel. See you later. Cheerio. Bye-bye, everybody. Stay safe.